So we got the movie Chevalier. Now, what is a Chevalier? Chevalier is an untold true story, forbidden, dramatic, romance, music composer, character-driven narrative, history, period piece, point set in time right before the French Revolution, aka Joseph Bologne. Sorry if I'm not getting that name right. I use Google Speak, but apparently I probably said it so wrong. He is the Chevalier de Saint-Georges. Now, he is played by Kelvin Harrison Jr., who also appeared in Cyrano as well as Elvis as Bebe King. Links below because you can check those reviews that I saw in the movie theaters. He is an amazing violinist and a spectacle fencer as well, but mostly named for the violinists and music composers. I'm gonna give you 3 strikes before we talk about this movie review. I don't almost always watch trailers when I go see the movies in theaters. It's just not something that I do. I always like to go into it blind. However, I remember specifically this year when I went to go see Megan in theaters, I saw this trailer and I could not take my eyes off away. It was just so gravitating and captivating me. Literally, I could not stop watching. I was like, oh my god. And yes, I did break the spell. I did watch these trailers. I mean, I've watched trailers before, but I did break the spell this year for this movie. So just strike 1. Strike 2, I always say on this channel, out of respect, I don't really like old stuff like that. I don't like World War One. I don't like World War II. I don't like literally things before the 2000s. I am more of a house music, futuristic, neon house martini type dude. Now, I do respect all that old stuff. However, there is some films that get through the cracks, such as Elvis, Cyrano, and Mr. Malcolm's List, which I thought it was okay. But still, that is strike 2 because I did like this. I used to play the violin in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I quit because I did love music and I started doing dancing after that, and I still kind of do dance now. So I do respect that, even with now with Lindsey Sterling's new album, and she's coming on tour right here in Milwaukee, which I do like violinists, especially now incorporated into the EDM and house music. So that is strike 3. And yeah, I'm gonna be very honest with you, that broke all the strikes. I already knew I was going to like this movie before I even saw it, and I do have appreciation for this. I even saw it twice, so the second time that I saw it was my more comprehensive review that I have for you guys. I have a quote here that when I started watching this movie that I thought of. It was from Martin Luther King Jr. He said, "Freedom is never voluntary given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed." Now, yes, I get it. 2 different timelines, 2 different things, 2 different countries, 2 different continents about this, because this is literally in France. And that was, of course, in United States. But I couldn't stop connecting to differences and the similarities between these 2 timelines and intricacies to the movie. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I'm not black. I'm half Latino, half Asian. I'm not gonna pretend what they felt like because I could never comprehend. Because I was probably, I mean, yeah, Mexicans and Latinos and Asians still get like hate, but it wasn't like, I'm just not gonna pretend like I know how they felt. Like, I'm just not. And I just want you guys to know that that's not where I'm coming from. I love movies where the main character or the group of characters, the main protagonist, goes against all odds and defies them and battles them. And I don't want to say they're evil, but I'm just saying like they destroy all defy odds. Like they have to go against like a big boss like in a video game. So that's why I did like the story of the movies in like that genre. Literally sat at the theaters. The movie grabbed me like a roller coaster ride with this opening beautiful fencing sequences, especially the violin versus violin, which what we know today is like dance battles. But back then they were strumming the violin, they were putting music, they were trying to attack the crowd. And even Kelvin Harrison Jr. in an interview, he had to practice violin so it could be like breathable and reelable for this movie. And I absolutely love his admiration for this actor as a film in this role in this movie, because he does come across as like he can do this. He has the confidence, the good lookingness, the charm, the spectacular visionary of his music composer in this set and time of era. But I also love that he can literally play the violin. He was training for months just for the role of this movie, and really it does come across in screen. The movie takes place around the 1700s, late 1700s. It is heavy on a character-driven film with complex relationships and forbidden relationships, sexual stuff throughout the whole movie, changing everything from the music to the French Revolution, as well as what he is trying to achieve in his goal in his life in this movie. It's a film where you see the main character lose himself and trust his so-called friends, but it never breaks away from the message that I got was always stay true to yourself and your heritage and where you come from. Since it's the rise, the good times, and the downfall, which is the fallout with the Queen of France during that time, which is Mary Antoinette, since the movie does show us their friendship from like a different angle that we've known from the history books and all this. And then the rest of the movie is him battling to earn the top title of the highest post in the music composer in that era. He's trying to direct an opera, so it's him versus some other dude, and that's like the rest of the movie. But it gets really deep, really complex, really dramatic, a lot of music scenes, which I did fall in love with. And the movie, of course, it does show us the multiple doors and the oppression this guy had to take simply because of his wonderful, beautiful complexion complexion, may I add you. All of those attacking him for what he wants to become. The movie does a nice job with the relationships and like close all friendship. He has a guy with named Felipe, probably getting that name right throughout the rest of the movie. And Felipe is an interesting character, not in terms just, oh, he's just a sidekick. He is the guy, the movie that showed me wanted the French Revolution to happen. Now, Chevalier probably doesn't want to get into the French Revolution right now. I mean, he sees that it's happening, but his main focus is the music. However, that literally changes the trajectory of his life because he was with these people, like these top 1%ers, but then later on in his life, he rebels against them and attacks the monarchy with the French Revolution. So it's a cool, interesting, character-driven film, not in the terms of like himself, but what happened in his life that made him be with them and then crash and burn and then attack them with the French Revolution. But he had this whole white male lead friend that was helping him throughout the movie. But the movie also shows us the complex relationships he has with Marie Antoinette, which is literally the Queen of England at that time. And it's cool and fascinating to see that this guy, of course, because he's a wonderful black man in this era, in this point set in time where a lot of black people, the movie showed us that they didn't have rights, they didn't have a lot of things. However, he got promoted to Chevalier, and so now he gets to like party with them, drink with them, talk with them, but he's losing himself in the process. And I love how the movie portrayed it to us, that shows us, hey, you're losing yourself, you gotta get back in check, because right now, especially in this time, this is a real life character. This is not just some made up character. Yeah, some of the movie probably took liberties and what's fiction and what's not, but this is Kelvin Harrison Jr. playing a real life character, like in a real time era. This isn't just make believe. Like, yeah, not the whole movie's all real. I mean, they probably took some liberties with that, but this is, he's trying to honor his like real character in real life. Of course, right here, you know, on this channel, I did love the affair, sexual, forbidden fruit relationship he has with one of the beautiful white female leads. Now, I'm not gonna say who it is because that'll be spoilers, but I did love that, how that changes the way he does his opera and the progressing of the rest of the film, because a lot of people probably think, damn, that's crazy, like you got a good position in this top 1%ers in this like fancy dinner place, fancy suits, and it doesn't like talk about the poor people, the hungry people, what's going on between them. Like, it shows us a small slice of what this big era is. But I did love the relationships of this complex romance that he has forbidden and with the affairs, because it shows that this guy, even though he has everything, he's still a guy at the end of the day. Like, he still wants to get laid. Now, I don't know if that's real or up to interpretation, but come on, even for me as a guy, like, of course, dude, like, I'm gonna wanna, like, even now, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I would love to like be with someone like that, you know, like have I don't know, like have sexual interactions with them. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, of course I would want that. This movie has nice pacing, such as musical notes that break up the monotony of just the historical driven narrative character pieces that set into play. But I did love everything about this, the set designs, the costumes, the wigs, the way this movie was portrayed in that era, even though it's not in terms of like the film grain, and I hate film grain in my movies. Even though this movie was set in the 1700s, late 1700s, it still shows us the HD crisp like camera that was used to capture this. Like, everything about this was amazing. The music, even though it's not like futuristic house neon, the character driven moments that Kelvin Harrison Jr. has to play, and even with these actors, with the amazing small group of cast, you get to know them really well. In this runtime of 1 hour and like 47 minutes, so it's not like long of a movie, but it did like for what we got. I did see this movie twice just to be like, oh my god, like I already fell in love with it. Like, I saw it twice just so I can get a better comprehensive review for you guys, but this is already taking too long. But this movie is perfect for anyone that likes opera, orchestra, late 1700s, French Revolution, even the way they talk in French, the way their mannerisms are. This movie is definitely geared for that. If you like Mr. Malcolm's List, or even maybe Cyrano, which he also appeared on here, you will absolutely fall in love with this movie. I'm gonna give this a solid B. This was amazing, and it's already a runner for top 10 best of the year this year, along with John Wick and Mario. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Maybe considering hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye.